Hey everyone, this is Unit 1, Lesson 3, mixing hot and cold water. So what I have here is hot water, 75 degrees Celsius, cold water at perfect 5 degrees Celsius. So for letter A, we will be mixing 100 milliliters of hot and 100 milliliters of the cold. So I've got a couple of measuring things here. So we're going to take the hot, and I'm going to measure out 100 milliliters. We got to do this really quickly so we can maintain their temperatures. And then we have 100 degrees of cold. So we have even amounts in letter A. Then what I have is an insulated styrofoam cup. I'm going to pour the even amounts of hot and cold, and then very quickly place the lid with the thermometer placed inside, and I'm going to let this settle out. Give it about 30 seconds or so. Mix it a little bit. All right, now I'm going to read the thermometer. Oh, it's still moving, so I'm going to give it a sec. In the meantime, I'm going to get ready for the next one. Hot. Let's hope I don't spill a bunch of water, which probably will. Okay. So I want to keep my hot water hot. Cold water doesn't really change much, but this can lose energy fairly quickly. So I'm actually going to double insulate it and kind of keep my hand over it. All right. For letter A, we are at 38 degrees Celsius. So we took 75-degree water, mixed it with an even amount of 5-degree water for letter A, and we got a final temperature when we mixed them 38 degrees. Okay? All right, now for letter B, we're actually going to switch the amounts. So now, and I'm going to pour this out. So for letter B, I am going to do 100 milliliters of each again. So we're kind of repeating the same thing, right? Okay, so I have here, whoops, opposite, let's do that. Oh, it's going up, it's going up. I want to get it up to 75, so let's see where it sits. All right, so this is at 75 degrees now, and I'm going to put in 100 milliliters of the hot water and 100 milliliters of the cold water. Oop, got a little ice cube in there. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to pour. So I've got my styrofoam cup. I'm going to pour the two even amounts. The ice cube got in there as well. It's okay. Still the average temperature. And see what we get. All right, this time it is 39 degrees Celsius. So for letter B, 39 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's what you'll type in your data table. All right, letter C. We are going to mix 100 milliliters of 75-degree water. So that's this one over here. 100 milliliters. Okay, then we are going to add only 50 milliliters of the 5-degree. And yep, it is still 5 degrees. So 50 milliliters. Okay, there we go. We've got our styrofoam cup. Whoops, I don't need that. We got these two right here. Okay, so got to do it quick because this is going to lose energy fairly quick. So 100 of the hot and 50 of the cold. Adding this really quickly, as quick as we can. Oh, wow. So we have a lot of hot water and a little bit of cold. Give it a little mix. we are at, well, gotta wait for it to stop. 43 degrees Celsius for letter C. 43 degrees Celsius for letter C. All right, we're gonna do letter D next. Okay, so letter D, we are mixing now more cold water. So 100 milliliters of the 5 degree Celsius water. So 100 of cold, okay? Perfect. And this is, yep, it's still at 75 and only 50 milliliters of 75 degree. So 50, and that's this line in between the 50 and the 100. Perfect. Got my top, adding in really quick. So this time we have more cold water than we do hot water. All right, give it a little stir. Okay. Oh, it's moving down. So remember the last one, it was 43 degrees Celsius when we had more hot water than cold. Now it has gone down to 30 degrees Celsius for letter D. Okay. All right, group E. We are mixing now 100, we're gonna up the measurements. So 150 milliliters of the hot water, 75 degrees Celsius, and only 50 milliliters of the cold. So this is still at 5. So 50 milliliters of the cold. And perfect. We are at 75 degrees for our hot, and we need 150 milliliters. Okay. I've got my cup with my top. Here we go. Getting it in quickly. Adding the top. Giving it a little stir. Oh, it's rising. Quite a bit, actually. You guys can see that. Probably not. It's still going. Still going. Okay, it has stopped at 56 degrees Celsius. So letter E, 56 degrees Celsius. All right, F is now the opposite. We're going to put 150 milliliters of the cold water. And then we're going to use 50 milliliters of hot water. Okay, there's 50. So now, more cold. So I'm going to pour the hot in first. Try not to get the ice in there. There we go. Way more cold than hot. Yo, come on. Oh, it's dropping. Can you see that? You might be able to see the little red line there. Okay, I'm gonna let that settle for a sec. It's still moving, it's still going down. Okay, it is closest to the 20 degrees Celsius mark. So somewhere, oh, now it's at 20. Okay, so letter F was 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so just to kind of recap, in letter A, we had even amounts. Letter B, we had even amounts as well. Letter C, we had mostly hot. Letter D, we had mostly cold. In letter E, mostly hot. And in letter F, mostly cold. Okay, do you see a pattern?